This is Lance and Roar, the voice of the fans, and this is the League of Ireland review, Matchday 28, and a little bit of Europe thrown in there. David Dunn here, joined by Conor McAvoy. You're very, very welcome. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. Head over to lansdowneroad.ie for opinion. And if you want a little bit of extra roar, a little bit of extra roar on your cornflakes. That's the new one I'm going with. You can head over to Lansdown Roar Plus. Lansdown Roar Plus is a special service that we offer you on YouTube, and it costs you $4.99 per month, wherever you are, basically, whatever the currency is. And if you subscribe before the 1st of September, basically midnight, 31st of August, you go into a draw for a Roma jersey. That's right, Evan Ferguson's Roma. They've been renamed. Anyway, Conor, you're very welcome. How are you doing? It's League of Ireland time again. We missed out last week because we were away on holiday and it was FA Cup stuff, so we don't follow the Cup. We only did League. That's right.
That's a bit racist to the Cup, is it?
More elitist. More elitist, yeah. I'm going to get a few penalties. I'll be getting a few penalties this
the reality is we would have recorded last week, obviously, but I was on holidays. You were on holiday. Yeah, you were in Budapest, weren't you? So. So we were both West. That's the only reason we didn't record. You don't have to act like we don't care. People will give out to you. We were just both away, so we couldn't record last week. But we've had a historic couple of what you said last 6 days for League of Ireland terms, you'd say as such, and hopefully once it gets to 7 or 8 days gone past, it'll be very historic. It'll be the most historic day maybe in League of Ireland European history. But yeah, it's good to be back on and speaking about the greatest league in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, we could have 2 teams in the Europa League league stage. Conference League stage, and that would be a guaranteed €4 million for each team, which would be massive, massive. Of course, Shamrock Rovers did fantastically well in that tournament last season, and Shelbourne, it would just be a massive boost for them as well. But yeah, and we're going to talk about a little bit about that, actually. Let's start with the champions. 3-1 winners over Linfield. Of course, they play Linfield again. Beat them 3-1 in Talca Park. And of course, they play the Northern Irish champions, the Irish League champions, again in the second leg in Windsor Park. Of course, they've already knocked them out of one European competition, and here they are in another one, which is a bit strange, but there you go. Conor, great win for the League of Ireland champions. Again, obviously, Meatball missed a penalty, your boy. But he made up for it in the end. And yeah, probably a bit annoyed that he conceded the goal. But there you go. They take a healthy lead back up to Belfast.
It was nearly a disaster. Like the red card and then going 2-0 up. Or obviously, Meatball missed penalty. But then Meatball won the penalty 1 minute later. And then Harry Wood scored that one. And then Meatball scored again. And then Linfield made it 2-1, and then they had the penalty to make it 2-2. And fair play to Spiel, who's been, I must say, he's been absolutely outstanding. Other than that one occasion against, was it Recchia, he made that mistake and gave away the penalty. But other than that, he's been absolutely superb. I think for Shels, he looks a real top drawer keeper. Made a massive save, and realistically could have won Shels the tie because they were obviously they went and got the third. They have a very healthy lead going into the second leg. I know when you're 2 goals up, there's nothing huge that, like, Linfield can't go back if they get 1 goal. They're right back in it, like we've seen that in the first tie they played them. But having that penalty save and getting that 3rd goal is absolutely huge and it's crucial. Like, very hard to see Linfield turn around. It's not impossible. But the quality the Shels have, the fact they've played them, 3 times already?
Yeah.
You think they have enough to go up there and even go up there and scrap out a 0-0 draw or 1-1 or something, because I find it hard to believe that Shels won't go up there and score 1 goal anyway, because just the quality they have and the fact that they're just a better side than Linfield, not against Linfield. But there's levels, like, and Shels are a level above, and something stuck in my throat. But anyway, Shels are but Shels they're a very good side. They're getting better at each European tie, and I think they'll create history.
Yeah, no, best of luck to them. I mean, they are a far better side. I mean, they almost scored an absolutely fabulous goal that was disallowed in great set piece goal, actually, up in Belfast. I remember watching that at work on my mobile phone on BBC Northern Ireland. And actually, speaking of which, RTE not showing it. You can watch Rangers tonight. Time recording, Rangers against Club Brugge or Bruges, depends what part of Belgium you're from. Yeah. But if you want to watch the return leg, the second leg, which Linfield obviously take a 3-1 lead, you can watch it on BBC One Northern Ireland, which is
Linfield take a 3-1 lead.
Oh, sorry,
just calm down, will you? Calm down.
I'm trying to build a bit of suspense and hysteria for the game. But yeah, they obviously Shelburne take a 3-1 lead. If you want to watch that, you can watch it BBC One Northern Ireland. You can also watch it in Premier Sports. They're showing it live. And if you're in the UK, if you're like on mainland UK, you can watch it the BBC iPlayer. Just go in. You can watch BBC Northern Ireland on the BBC iPlayer.
Dave,
so there you go.
What's your prediction? Will Shels finish the job?
I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to say another 1-1. I think.
So, yeah, they do finish the job.
They will finish the job, yeah. But like, I think Linfield will obviously just throw everything at them, and because this is it, isn't it?
Yeah. Big positive got the weekend off, though, isn't it? They didn't have to play at the weekend to fully focus. And actually, I noticed Linfield played Cliftonville at the weekend, so it's interesting they had to play a league game whilst Shels got the weekend off.
It's a bit silly by the IFA, that, isn't it? It was actually Shelburne and Shamrock Rovers that was handy. They were due to play on the weekend, and so it was really, really handy. But to be fair to the League of Ireland, they've actually been very good to European sides because they know how important that is.
Especially after last year. Do you remember? Last year they weren't going to give St. Pat's the weekend off, and Kenny went absolutely mad uproar about it, but because they're playing Başakşehir in the second leg, and they managed to get that game postponed. But I think they've learned after last year, you just give teams, even like I think in Troy Parrott, AZ Alkmaar and Festi with Istanbul Başakşehir, there are two leagues, Eredivisie and the Turkish league, both give them the weekend off to focus on the European ties this Thursday. So it's not just, you can say, the low League of Ireland. It's all these leagues around Europe, like the Turkish league. Look how much money goes into it. So it's mad that
Scottish.
Yeah, so it's mad that Linfield haven't been given the week off to prepare, because I guess, but it's just a mess up there. They're always arguing up at the IFA with the Northern Irish League. So yeah, but Shels are going to finish the job, aren't they? If we just are confident in them, like.
I reckon so, yeah. Notwithstanding a disaster, Linfield are going to throw everything at them, of course, because as I said, it's do or die for them. And basically, Shelburne, I reckon they'll probably concede a goal, ride it out, and then they'll just get it done. Maybe get another goal or two. Happy days. But there you go. Best luck to Shelburne there. Of course, a massive result as well. Probably the bigger result, to be fair, with Shamrock Rovers getting a 2-1 win over Portugal. Santa Clara, a team that finished 5th in the Superliga. I think that's what it's called in Portugal. Fantastic result, really. Now, speaking of underestimating, you have to, probably thought Irish team, no problem. Shamrock Rovers, though, are probably the most seasoned team in Europe. I mean, they did really well in very comfortable in the Conference League. Shamrock Rovers, very comfortable level for them, and they went and got the job done in Portugal. Massive result, brilliant stuff for the League of Ireland. That
unbelievable. An outrageous result to not even just, like, I know people say Santa Clara are kind of like the underdogs of Portugal. They kind of, every single game they go into, they kind of play counter-attack football. They did the same actually with Rovers the other night. Was interesting at home, but what a result to go away to there. It's not just like you're going to mainland Portugal. It was the Azores. That's another island, the most western club in Europe, and they went and they were full value for the, I was going to say 3 points, but for the win, carrying over the second leg. The 2 goals they got was lovely. The first goal by Danny Grant, absolutely brilliant bit of play, and then the second one from Danny Bandrew was top class as well. And just this Rovers side is getting better and better, and like Stephen Bradley's really established himself as, can you make an argument he's a better manager than Stephen Kenny was in the League of Ireland? He's starting to really make an argument for himself now anyway, but the stuff he's achieving in Europe, like he's doing things people never expected. Like the Portuguese, a top league. It's what you say, it's probably the 6th best league in Europe at the moment, and they went there and they're the better side. I think he is so good tactically, Bradley, that he adapts to whatever style it needs to happen in Europe, whether they have to go away to Portugal and play with more of the ball, which is not a common thing when you go and play away in Europe, and they have to sit back and play in the break, or they have to sit back with their back five, or even if they're going to a back four, to push forward. But so I think Bradley has really established himself as a top manager with all these outrageous performances in Europe, and they have a massive night in Tala on Thursday, which Santa Clara will probably still have to approach it in their same aspect of letting Rovers have a bit more possession and try and hit them on the break, because that's really their game. But I'd be shocked if Rovers don't go and score one goal anyway on Thursday. It's just whether they can stop Santa Clara, because I know they have a lot of Brazilians and a lot of talented players that can do a lot of damage. But it would be some achievement if they can get past a Portuguese, not just a top flight team, a team that done. It's not like they were a team that finished second last and then they won the cup. They finished very high up in the league. So it would be a historic day for League of Ireland, and it would just show where the league is coming towards at the moment if they can beat them at home.
Yeah, Shamrock Rovers, I mean, fantastic result over there, and hopefully they can finish the job off. But just amazingly here, Conor, like, game isn't being shown on terrestrial TV, RTE. If you want to watch this game on RTE live, you would be out of luck, because instead of showing a League of Ireland team perhaps creating a bit of history, as Conor rightly says, over a pretty decent side, you're out of luck, because on RT2 they have home and away at 6:30. The Hills Are Alive, a year at Kylemore Abbey at 7 o'clock. In addition, it takes viewers from Christmas to Easter on the popular estate, with the insight into the life of the community there and the lay staff they employ to sustain Kylemore. Fantastic. And then you have Celebrity Break Off, which is brilliant. Eddie Golden, all that happy stuff. And they have The Cleaner at 9 o'clock. Wiki heads to, I don't even know what these shows are. I don't watch TV anymore. Just ridiculous. Not shown on terrestrial TV. Premier Sports are showing the Shelbourne game, and they will have goals from the Shamrock Rovers games basically sprinkled throughout the coverage. But if you want to watch it live, you've got to go on the League of Ireland TV, which is great, I suppose, because I know all the revenue from that will go straight to the club. But that's ridiculous, isn't it, that RT aren't showing a potentially historical, massive League of Ireland game. Even the Shelbourne game, they're not showing. They're showing Rangers instead.
I'd like to say I'm shocked, Dave, but I'm not. It's just what they do, and it's like, I know I can understand what the Rangers, because Rangers are playing tonight, aren't they? I can understand why you're kind of showing that, because I think it's part of the Champions League, right? You have to show these qualifiers if you want to get the group stage access, or you want to get just access to the bigger games. But yeah, it's just shocking, like, that they can't show it at all, like, or the fact that they could have made arrangement that Premier Sports shows one and they show the other, or like, it just reflects really badly on RT. And I think they have already a bad enough name in league, not, I wouldn't say League of Ireland circle, but just from the League of Ireland fan base, of the lack of regard to it when they were showing it, when they had the rights to it. And I don't think it's going to get any better. I know I'm happy for League of Ireland TV that it gets to show it, and the money with Rovers and make off it themselves, but like, it just encourages like illegal streaming and stuff when you have this sort of thing happening, rather than having it on terrestrial TV. But I hope people like Rovers in the club can use it as fuel to the fact that they don't think highly of you enough to show you on TV, even though you can create history here, qualifying 2 years in a row, the first team to ever qualify as non-champions. So yeah, really, really disappointing that they're not showing up. I'm not shocked, to be honest with you, at all. I think it would have said it more likely they don't show it than they do show it at all. So hopefully Rovers can shut all these people up. Well, I wouldn't say shut these people up, but like, show them that they're worth paying the money for the rights, because the thing is, if Rovers win, they'll be shown weekly on Premier Sports or TNT Sports, whatever the rights will be on for the group stage. So yeah.
I know there'll be a lot of bitter fans like, I hate Rovers, but yeah, okay, whatever, great. But you have to understand that this is huge for the League of Ireland. You know, the deeper these teams and the more teams that go deeper into these European competitions affects the coefficient, but actually makes it easier and easier for clubs in Ireland to qualify. So, okay, you might hate Rovers, you might hate Shels, no problem. But at the end of the day, the better they do, the better it is for Irish football. You know, more eyes on it, more money coming in, more chances to qualify for tournaments. And yeah, RTE, it's disgrace again. I mean, I'd understand that there was something else huge that was on, but they're showing like the Bake Off and That's not even a Celebrity Bake Off. That's a BBC show, isn't it? I think, or ITV or Channel. Like, you're not even showing an Irish. Oh, you're showing a thing about Conor Cassidy. Who cares? Sorry, you know, I'm probably gonna have all the Conor diehard fans coming after me, but I don't care. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyway, we'll leave it there. Best luck to the two teams in Europe.
What's your prediction, Dave? The Rovers finished the job?
I'm gonna go 1-1. They'll barely. I think it's gonna be tight because I think Santa Clara will probably feel embarrassed. Rovers are a good side in Europe. They're gonna feel embarrassed, and if they did take them lightly, they won't. A bit like the Croatian side with Shels, they took them lightly and you know, were embarrassed and then came to Dublin with a point to prove. I think that's going to be the same as Santa Clara. It's going to be a tough night for Shamrock Rovers, but they just got to keep the discipline, make it hard as possible for Santa Clara, not make any stupid mistakes, and then maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure what style of football Santa Clara play, but maybe hit them on the break. That, you know, it's going to be one of those nights where just, you know, just keep it tight and then maybe get them on the counter attack. And Shamrock Rovers they're a good footballing side. Like, they can play some decent stuff.
I think they'll finish the job. I think they could beat them 2-0. I think they'll hit them early. And then they'll get a second, while Santa Clara have to push forward and push a lot because it's not their style, because Santa Clara are kind of, they're big underdogs when it comes to Portuguese football, and they like to embrace that underdog role, and it's going to be tough for them to try and like be the team that pushes to get all them late goals. So I think Rovers are going to get one, and then they'll get a second lead on to finish it off and create a bit of history, and we'll have two teams in Europe, and that's 4 million back into the League of Ireland. And I know people say directly clubs, some of it does go to the other clubs as well, so it's a benefit for us all. And even if I seen a good point Vinny Perth made yesterday was, even if the fear of Rovers going dominating the league, but if Rovers qualify and they bring in another couple of 2-3 players, that means another 2-3 players at Rovers that are at a very high level, that are very good players, will drop down to a Pats, or they'll drop down to a Bohs, or they'll go to a Sligo, and them teams will improve as well. So it's not going to be the end of the world if they do qualify and they say, oh, people think they're going to just run away and win everything for the next 10 years.
Yeah. No, I mean, best of luck to them, and hopefully they do finish the job right. Let's go to things a little bit more closer to home and have a look at the results. Of course, just 8 teams playing, with Shels and Shamrock Rovers due to play, but obviously postponed for obvious reasons. So here we go. Bohemians 3-0 winners, some absolute bangers in that game. 3-0 winners over Cork City. Drogheda losing 1-0 at home to St. Pat's. Galway United 1, Derry City 2. Bit of a late show there from Derry. Waterford 1, and Sligo Rovers 2. So Sligo pulling even further ahead of Cork City at the bottom of the table. The Bohs game, 2 goals at the end. Oh my God, did you see them? They were absolutely phenomenal. Brilliant.
James Taylor. He's an excellent footballer. Top class.
Yeah.
Full value for 3 points.
Oh yeah, screamer, like just the top right hand corner, and then Dawson Devoy with a lovely bit of skill in the 94th minute. It was just brilliant. Battered Cork City. Cork City in a real mess at the moment. 10 points adrift at the bottom of the table. Bohs, I mean, probably a little bit too little too late for them at this stage of the season, but still though, some goals. Oof.
Yeah, because Bohs will focus on even getting a second place. It'll be big for them over Derry, or unless Pats or Shels or Drogheda could make a lead fight to finish second. But I think basically it's between themselves and Derry to finish second, I would say. So yeah, it's big for them to get the 3 points, and there's a lot of pressure on them really to go and get them 3 points, because they've got knocked out of the cup by Sligo the week before. They'd kind of fallen away from the title race, and they didn't want to heighten the pressure even more on Alan Reynolds by going and losing to Cork, because Cork have so much to play for. And I know they're 10 points adrift, but they were a decent 4. They were playing well actually the last couple of weeks, and they're thinking, oh, maybe can they fight a comeback? So it is a very impressive 3 points for Bohs. I know you're saying they're playing the worst team in the league, but it was a very pressurized environment for them last Friday night, and they go and they showed their class. Like Dawson Devoy showed himself as one of the best players in the league, and ahead of they're playing Schalke now in a friendly. I know there's a lot of rumours going about because a team in the Bundesliga 2 were trying to sign him, Rumours, I think people are speculating on that. They're worried at all. Maybe he's going to go sign for Schalke, and part of the arrangement is Bohs playing him in a friendly to make a bit more extra money off it. But I don't know about that, if that is actually the case or it's just a coincidence that that's happening. But yeah, Bohs are all on the right track, and I think they'll continue to build and win matches.
Absolutely. Next up, Drogheda losing 1-0 at home to St. Pat's last minute, like literally 90. It was like the 95th minute. Huge win there for Pats. Bit of a 6-pointer, really. They've closed the gap big time on Drogheda. A little bit of a resurgence for Pats. They've won the last 3 games on the bounce in the league, where Drogheda haven't won in their last 2. So huge result there for Stephen Kenny. Bit of pressure taken off, do you reckon?
Yeah, they needed that one because of the big win in the Cup actually the week before. They had that very good performance away to Istanbul in the Conference League. Obviously, the first leg was a mess, but they done very well in the second leg. So things are starting to look up for them now. I think a lot of pressure now on Drogheda to try and hold on to top 4, or even get top 4 at this stage. And I think the goal that conceded was Luke Dennison kind of panicked. It for the first time I've seen him all season make, really, I would say, a mistake was for Luke Turner's winner at the end. So yeah, probably a very disappointing way to lose a game for Drogheda. They would have been happy, I think, with the point because of the way Pats are going at the moment, and Drogheda are kind of the draw specialists, aren't they? They can hold on for a point and they'll be happy enough with it. So yeah, disappointing result for Drogheda, but I'd say Pats are delighted to get that win, and they continue to build some momentum, and maybe they can go and challenge Bohs for top 2 or not top 3. Sorry, the second and third place.
Excuse me, must be catching something in my throat. You are. Next up, of course, Galway United in serious trouble, losing 2-1 at home to Derry, falling further down the table, and Sligo Rovers literally right up their arse. You are. Sorry, I had to sort of do that here. I need to compose myself. Of course, Galway took the lead with a Jimmy Keown. I don't think I'm saying that right. Or Keohan on the 17th minute, and then of course Derry City leveling things up in the 45th or 43rd minute, and then Adam O'Reilly with a last-minute winner for Derry. I was listening to the commentary on that. They were devastated, Galway. Which is kind of funny in a way. But yeah, Derry City, she said, challenging Bohs now for that top 3 spot, really, at the moment. But a huge win for them. I mean, a real smashing grab at the end there. Yeah,
another massive win for them, because obviously with Bohs winning, they needed to get the 3 points. Galway are really, really falling down the pecking order here. They're really, ever since Moses Dyer left, even I think if he stayed, this would have been struggling a bit. Like, there, and a lot of players seem to be leaving at the end of the season that are out of contract to go agree to go elsewhere. So it is not looking good for Galway at the moment. As I made the prediction to you, Dave, didn't I say that Sligo would catch Galway? What was it? Probably 2 months ago at this stage. But yeah, it's not looking good for Galway. Big win for Derry, because it probably would have been not a great result to go there and knock at the 3 points with the form Galway are in, and the fact that Derry, I think, is like, there is a chance that whoever finishes 4th this year in the league mightn't get Europe again, because Sligo are doing well, looking well for the Cup. I know Rovers are still there, Pats are still there, but Drogheda are also. So a team that finishes 5th or 6th could win the Cup, and the team that finishes 4th will miss out again. So I think it's big for all these teams like Derry, Bohs, Pats, even Drogheda, whoever finishes 2nd and 3rd, just to get European football secured and not have that worry of relying on a team to win the Cup that's already in the top 4. So yeah, big win for Derry. I think hopefully we'll see them kind of pick up form again, because when Derry are at their best, they're a very good side and they're very good to watch, but it's just consistency. They're 1 week they're brilliant, the next week they're terrible.
Yeah. Next up, Waterford losing 2-1 at home to Sligo Rovers. Conor Noonan opened the lead for the home side. Conan Noonan on the 37th minute, the goal scoring, then Jad Kiki on the 73rd minute, leveling things up, and then Owen Elding with a late winner on the 87th minute, doing the business for Sligo. Sligo, yeah, crawling further out. They've cut right up, as we talked about earlier, they've right up Galway, and they're pulling right away from Cork. Just a bit of Owen Elding. Obviously, he was born in England. He's trying to change his nationality to Irish. Bit of a delay there. Is there a bit of an issue with that?
Let's just take these things day at a time. just one of these things. It takes their time. FIFA were blocking at one stage, but it'll be sort of the passport citizenship will hopefully be done soon. Like, it's one of those things that you can just get it done any day. Like, you're just waiting for the yes. So hopefully it is sorted ASAP. Looks like it's not going to be done for the 21s qualifiers coming up, but other than that, it should be good. He is some player. It's ridiculous what he's doing this season. He's single-handedly scoring all these goals for Sligo. So many individual bits of brilliance. I know the goal at the weekend was a bit scrappy, such a keeper be a bit disappointed not to save it, but just Owen Elding being Owen Elding, and he's an unbelievable finisher. The work really puts in is ridiculous. He covers some ground, and he has it all to go on to be a top player. And as I reported a couple of weeks ago, that Sligo want over 1.5 million for him, which would be full value for what Sligo deserve. Probably if he played in Dublin, not, but it's just the way football is. If he played for Pats or Rovers, he'd be looking for.
Oh, you're not part of that, are you? Well, we can only play players in Dublin. That anti-Dublin brigade.
No, it's not even that. It's just the clubs like Rovers, because of the financial position they're in, or Pats with the financial position, and they can demand more money. Like, clubs will probably see Sligo as a small fish in a small pond, whilst Rovers are the big fish in the small pond. So, but he's worth ridiculous money. He's an unbelievable player. Like, and Sligo are going to earn every penny, and as a credit to their academy, they're bringing players that came through, and they're. Sligo, I don't think they're going to be in a relegation playoff, to be honest with you, because they have so much momentum behind them. They have a brilliant squad. They were my prediction at the start of the year, Dave, if you remember, to win the cup. I predicted they were going to win the cup, and they're still in it with 8 teams left. So hopefully they can. They're a good team to watch, and you don't want a team like that getting relegated or getting dragged into the playoffs. So I'm glad. Nothing against Waterford, but just glad that Sligo got their victory.
Yeah, Sligo crawling close towards Galway and possibly Waterford. Actually, they're not a million miles away from them either. No, good week for the League of Ireland. Hopefully, a better week. On Thursday when the two teams do battle, it should be fantastic. But hopefully, history is made. Right, we're going to move on here. We're going to just show you the league table, and then we're going to take a look at fixtures. I'm going to get out of here. Right, let's start with the league table. Here we are. Now, just keep in mind, Shamrock Rovers and Shelburne have not played this weekend. Their game has to be rescheduled because they're both in Europe, which is kind of handy for you to play each other. So, Rovers at the top there with 53 points. Bohemians second with 46 points. Derry City third with 45. Drogheda United fourth on 42. St. Pat's crawling, getting closer. They're on 41 points at fifth. Shelburne, of course, haven't played. Sixth with 39 points. Waterford 7 with 34 points. Going on it 8th with 30 points. Sligo Rovers right back in there. Waterford, Galway, beware. They are 9th with 29 points. And Cork City properly on the table. Probably have lost all hope at this rate. They're 10 points adrift on 19 points at the bottom of the table. So the fixtures for the next round. Match day 29. Cork City will host Waterford. That is the big game. That is on Virgin Media 2. There's no disrespect to either teams. That must be a contractual thing. Because, I mean, not being funny, like the bigger teams, they're like Derry City, Pats, for example.
But it's a derby on TV. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
Cork City like are done. But anyway, Derry City at home to Pats, which means that we were better in there. The Brandywell, that's on League of Ireland TV. Then, of course, just the 2 games on Friday. And then, of course, you got one on Saturday, which is Sligo Rovers at home to Bohs. And then on Sunday, you've got Shelburne at home to Galway United. And then Shamrock Rovers at home to Drogheda United. So there you go. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really does help. Please like the video. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. Also, you can head over to lansdowneroad.ie, and please, if you haven't already, you want a little bit of extra raw, head over to Lansdowne Raw, plus the description, the link to that will be in the description below. $4.99 wherever you are, whatever your currency is. It's just a great way to help the page, and it also puts you in before the 1st of September, midnight, 31st of August, midnight. You go into a draw to win a Roma jersey. So there you go. Anyway, We're out here. I'm David Dunn. He is Conor McAvoy. This is the League of Ireland review. We'll see you next week. Good night.